So, percentage changes. Okay, this is the fundamentals. There is a second worksheet on this which is harder questions, and there is a one which you need to go through to understand how this works if you haven't done so elsewhere. So, changing to decimals is the first and most important step to get us started. So, 23%. Now that literally means 23 per 100. That's what percent means. When you divide by 100, what you do is you move the decimal point 2 places to the left, so that becomes 0.23, and that is it. That's all we've got to do. So, part B, 147%. Now this is a top-heavy percentage, it's bigger than 100. We will need to use these when we're doing increases later. So, that is 147 over 100. Okay, again we move the decimal place 2 to the left and it becomes 1.47. And then finally, part C, 0.35%, which equals 0.35 over 100. Again, we move the decimal place 2 points to the left, and that is 0.0035. And that's it. That's how we do the first question. Moving on to the second question. We want to be able to find these percentages of these numbers. Okay? So, firstly, you change it to the decimal. So, for 2a, you change 20% to 0.2. And you times it by the number you're finding the percentage of, times 540. Okay, you work that out, and you will get 108. Okay, we're done, right? Wrong. Two significant figures. You must always check what your answer is to. So, two significant figures. First significant figure, second significant figure. Rounding on that, so that goes to 110 to two significant figures. Okay, don't forget to do that every time. Second question. We have 12%, which is 0.12, and that's times by 75. That comes out as 9. Okay, now we're done again, but we've got to make sure it's to two significant figures. That would go to 9.0, because we know that the 0 is definitely there. We haven't rounded to 9, we have got exactly 9 actually, but to two significant figures it's 9.0. And part C, we've got 125%, so it's 1.25 times 60, and that equals 75. Now that is already to two significant figures, so we can leave it. And there we go. That's question 2 done. Let's move on to question 3. Got an interest rate of 7% for 4 years. So we can convert 7% back into a decimal, and that is 0.07. And we can times that directly by 4. So 0.07 times 4 equals 0.28. Now we have that percentage of 6,400, because this is what a simple interest is. It is just the 7% 4 times over. So 7 times 4, or 7% times 4. So then we have 0.28 times 6,400, and that equals £1,792. Now that's not actually my favourite method of how to deal with these. So for the next one I'm going to do the other method. Okay, we've now got 12% for 2 years, so 12% is 0.12 for 2 years, so it's simple interest, so we times by 2, and we just directly times that by 6,400. Okay, and when you went that through, what you get is 1,500 £436. Okay, much simpler method, keeps everything together. Question C, we have 3.5%. 3.5% into a decimal is 0.035 for 5 years, so times by 5, times by the amount of money we've got, 6,400, and that equals 1,120. Okay, that's question 3 done. Question 4. We want to find out the final amounts. So that means the original and this additional amount, or the original minus the additional. So what we've got is we've got an increase. We've got to increase £150 by 10%. Okay. Now there are two methods we could do this. You could work out 10% of 150, right, which should be 15, and add it on 165. That works, but for the next step of this, we're going to want to be able to do something a little bit more sophisticated. So what we're going to look at is how much do we now have percentage-wise. We had 100, we're increasing it by 10, so now we've got 110%. Okay? Now 110% equals 1.1. So what we do is we do £150 times 1.1, and that gives us £165. That's a 9. £165. That's it. Okay. Same idea for part B, but instead of it being an increase, it's now a decrease. So we have got 12% less than 100%, so we have 100 minus 12, and that equals 88%. Okay, 88% is 88 over 100, so it's 0.88. So now we do 0.88 times by 6,000, and that gives us 5,280 kilograms. And then finally, part C, we are increasing 3,570 kilometers by 27%. So we have the original 100% and an extra 27%. So that's 127%, and that equals 1.27. So we do 1.27 times by 3,570, and what that gives us is 4,533.9 kilometers. And that's it.